Everyone look! Look at Maki!
Yo, what's up everybody? This guide is going to break down pretty much all of Rival's movement, starting from the basics and going all the way up to some of the more advanced stuff. I put a lot of time into this, so whether you're new or you're already pretty experienced, you should be able to take something away from it. And also, if you want my settings or you just want to be a part of my community, my Discord is in the description. Alright, that's enough yapping. Let's get into the rest of the video. So we're going to start the video by going over some of the easier movement techs first. Stuff that you guys probably all know, but just in case you don't, I'll be teaching it to you. And then later on into the video, I'm going to be getting into the harder movement techs, like super jumping and stuff. For the very first thing that I'm going to be going over in this guide is slide jumping. Slide jumping is honestly one of the easiest things that you can do in this game, but it helps so much. The way that you perform slide jumping is, it's literally in the name. You just slide and then you jump at the end of your slide. And then you can do it in a quick succession like this, where you just click your slide and your jump at the exact same time, and you go around the map super fast like this. After you've mastered slide jumping, is you want to be able to incorporate a double jump at the end of your slide jump, so you cover even more ground on the map and you travel way faster, and you can get to places that you wouldn't be able to get to by just regularly slide jumping. But if I double jump, I can get to these places. The way you perform this is you just do a slide jump, slide and space at the same time, and then hit space one more time at the very end of your jump. And then, boom, you're double jumping. Very simple. The next thing that I'm going to teach you how to do is ramp jump. Ramp jumping is basically the exact same thing as slide jumping, but instead of slide jumping on the ground, you slide jump on the ramp. How you perform this is by going to basically the middle of the ramp, and then just slide jumping. You get a nice little angle on your opponent, you can catch him off guard because you're so high up in the sky, you can win the fight like that. Or you can use this ramp jump to get to a place that you wouldn't be able to get to by just doing a regular slide jump or a double jump. The two movement techs that I'm going to teach you how to do next are definitely my favorite things to do on these ramps. The first one is called a ramp glide. The way you perform a ramp glide is you stand in front of the ramp like this, and then all you do is you hold W and you slide jump at the exact same time. So hold W, slide jump. And then I like to pair it with a crouch at the end, so I fall down way faster and I don't take as much damage. But this is really good for playing quick peeks on the ramp and just trying to gain some knowledge of where your opponent is. The last tech that you can do on these ramps is called a ramp superjump. This is by far the best tech that you can do on these ramps, just from the sheer amount of height that you get whenever you do it. But the way you do it is you stand at the corner of the ramp like this, and you just walk up the ramp a little bit, and all you do is you slide jump. So crouch inside at the same time, and you go super high. But if you want to go even higher, you pair it with a double jump at the end, and you can catch even more people off guard when you do it, because no one expects you to be 25 feet up in the air. The next thing that we're going to be going over is a long slide. What a long slide is simply just sliding off of something that is elevated to the ground. The way you perform a long slide is by just sliding. You just slide off of something that's above the ground, and you go a lot faster and a lot further than you would just regularly sliding. And it's a lot harder to track you when you do a long slide, because you have a slight elevation change when you do the slide instead of just sliding straight. You can do this on top of ramps, windows, just anything that is above the ground. You will go farther than just sliding regularly. The very last thing that we're going to be going over in the beginner movement section is a grenade jump. Grenade jumps are very useful for getting into places that you wouldn't be able to get to by just regularly traveling around the map. The way you perform a grenade jump is pretty simple. All you do is you hold your grenade and you wait until your nade comes into you like that, and when your nade is coming into you, all you want to do is slide jump, and you will propel yourself forward like this. Before we get into the next part of the guide, I recently ended up partnering with Wallhack, and I now have my own affiliate code on their website. So if you guys want a really good glass mousepad and you want to have smoother aim, make sure to use my code for 10% off of your order. For the first thing that we're going to be going over in the weapon-based movement category is a Scythe Dash. What a Scythe Dash is just hitting your quick melee keybind, mine would be F, and then hitting your right click right after you hit your quick melee keybind, so you do the Scythe's ability. F, right click. For the very last thing that you should learn with the Scythe is just how to slide jump with it and Scythe Dash up to places that you can't get to normally. All you want to do is just be slide jumping like how I taught you before, and then you want to Scythe Dash up to something, and it makes you a lot harder to hit and a lot harder to track. Now we're going to be going over all the techs that you can do with the chainsaw and the warhorn. these techs are pretty fun and broken. First thing that you should learn with the Chainsaw Warhorn is just how to slide jump with it. All you want to do is hit your quick utility keybind, mine would be G, which activates your Warhorn. And then all you want to do is pull out your chainsaw, hold right click, and just slide jump. And you move around the map super fast, as you can see. For the next chainsaw movement, it would be a Chainsaw Warhorn ramp glide. Long name I know, but it's really good. All you want to do is pop your Warhorn, hold out your chainsaw, and like I taught you before, just do the regular ramp glide, but with the chainsaw while holding right click, and you go super far. This is really good because it'll catch your opponents off guard from the amount of speed and height that you get whenever you do it. So it makes you super hard to track. For the last Chainsaw Warhorn tech, it's called a Chainsaw Warhorn Ramp Superjump. Super long name I know, but this is probably my favorite thing to do on the Chainsaw Warhorn, just from the amount of height that you get whenever you do it, and from the amount of people that you can catch off guard whenever you do it correctly. But the way you do it is you pop your Warhorn, you stand at the edge of the ramp like I taught you before, and all you do is you slide jump up the ramp at the corner, and you go so high. I literally made it up here. This is probably even better than the Chainsaw Ramp Glide Warhorn, whatever I called it, because it's just, you go so high. It's literally insane. And that is it for the beginner movement and the weapon-based movement. Now, we're going to go on to the map-specific movement techs that you'll commonly see on docks, arena, and station. For the first map that I'm going to be going over is everyone's favorite, arena. Basically all the techs that I just showed you guys, they all work in this map, like the ramp glides and the ramp jumps, but there definitely is some tech that not a lot of people know about, which I'll be covering today. For the first thing that you guys should learn on arena, not a lot of people know about it, but it's called a window jump. Window jumps are super good for getting an advantage over your opponent when they're not expecting it. The way you perform a window jump is by simply just going on the window to an angle like this, and you kind of want to hit your head on the window so you get an extra jump and you can jump on top of the window. Don't be discouraged if you guys can't get this on the first try. It's a pretty hard tech to master, but when you get it, it's super good to catch your opponents off guard. For the next tech that we're going to learn on arena is called a side strafe. Side strafing is super good because it makes it really hard to hit you if you do it correctly. But the way you do it is just go on top of one of these walls in arena, it doesn't matter which one, and then just slide to the other wall and click crouch immediately so it kills all your momentum and you don't accidentally slide off the wall. And then when you're here, you just slide back to the other wall and click crouch immediately, and then in full motion it looks like this. As you can see, you go super fast, and you can already imagine how hard this would be to hit. For the next tech that I'm going to be covering, it's called the Binkletone Nadejump. Binkletone actually made this Nadejump, hence the name, and he also made a lot of other movement on arena, which I'll be going over, so shout out to him. What you want to do to perform this Nadejump is come to around here off spawn, hold your nade, when your nade is coming into you, slide into your nade, and then double jump onto the ramp and you go flying. This is really good because you can catch opponents super off guard because they don't expect you to be traveling 50 feet up in the air off spawn at like Mach 5 speeds. You guys should all be applying this if you are already. There is also another variation of the Binkletone Nadejump that I just showed you guys, but it's basically just opposite. How you perform it is you come to here off spawn, hold your nade, when your nade comes into you, slide jump into your nade, and then land on top of this window, and you get a nice off angle for people that are either nade jumping or just standing on top of this wall off spawn, because a lot of people like to do this to get chip damage when the round starts. So you guys should all be applying this as well. And for the last nade jump that I'll be showcasing on arena is how to nade jump through the window. What you want to do is come to here off spawn, right here on the ramp just below the second corner, and what you want to do is hold your nade. When your nade comes into you, slide through the ramp and then just double jump onto the middle platform, or onto this platform, or onto this platform, and you can get a really quick peek on your opponents because they won't be expecting it. Another useful skill on arena is called a wall glide. Wall gliding is pretty similar to the long slide that I showed you guys earlier, but instead of just long sliding like this, the way you want to perform this is by going on top of the arena ramp, looking at around where I'm aiming, and then just simply hold W and slide, and you'll wall glide, and you can make it all the way here without even touching the ground. This also works on other maps that has walls like this, but arena is definitely the easiest one to do. Another cool tech that I can show you on arena, this time it's with the jump pad. It's pretty similar to the Binkletone Nadejump in the sense where you slide up the ramp, but it's a lot easier to do. since you're on a jump pad instead of a grenade. What you want to do is put your jump pad on the wall like this, and then simply jump into your jump pad, and when it bounces you back, just double jump up the ramp and you go flying like that. And for the final tech that I'm going to show you guys on Arena, a lot of people like to just slide jump onto these platforms, but this isn't really good because your opponent can get a lot of shots on you when you just slide jump in the open like that. So what you should be doing instead is this. Just slide into the platform that you're trying to slide jump onto, but slide a little bit below the platform like this, and then double jump back onto the platform. This is super good to implement into your games because most of the fights or arena are on top of these platforms. So if you're delaying your slide like this, the opponent that you're fighting is going to waste a lot of bullets on you, just spraying the air when you're below the platform. That's pretty much it for all the techs you can do in arena. Now we're going to be moving on to my favorite map, docks. The very first tech that we're going to be going over on docks is the white super jump. This is a pretty hard thing to do, so don't be discouraged if you guys can't get on the first try. But this is really good to catch your opponents off guard that are playing on top of yellow. The way you do this super jump is by simply just sliding a little bit below this edge on the roof. And you kind of want to have this part of your legs, like your knees, be below the edge that I just marked. And when you put it all together, it'll look like this. You want to slide right below this edge, and then you want to jump as soon as you hit the edge. So slide, jump, and you go flying like that. Make sure you're not too far away from the edge like this, because then you'll just slide into nothing and you won't be able to get the height. You want to be at around here when you do the slide jump, and then you literally just slide and you jump and you go flying. You can also do the super jumps in spots like this, or you can do it from here to here. You can also do this, or you can do it like this. You can also do this super jump on top of white at the corner of the roof. You can also do it from the yellow building at the corner to the white roof right here. You just slide and jump. And this. The next tech that we're going to be going over is just how to grenade jump slide off of roofs. Grenade jump sliding is pretty good to do if you don't do it every single round and you're kind of unexpected when you do it. The way you perform a grenade jump slide is pretty similar to the Binkletone Nadejump that I showed you guys early in this video, but instead of sliding off of a ramp, you slide off of a roof. You stand on top of this railing, hold a grenade, slide jump into a grenade when it comes into you, and then just double jump at the end of the roof, and you go flying. This is super good for catching opponents off guard really early into the round, because you take a lot of map control super quick. There's also 3 more grenade jump slides that you can do in this map. The second one is going from here to on top of white, and you do it the same way as you did the other one. Slide into your grenade when it comes into you, and double jump at the end of the roof. The third one is here, on top of these boxes at the back of white, and you hold your nade. When your nade comes into you, slide jump into it, and then double jump at the end of the roof, and you go flying, and you can make it on top of yellow. And then the very last one that you can do is by standing on top of these boxes at the back of white again, holding your nade, slide jumping into it when it comes into you, and then double jumping at the end of the roof, and you can go all the way on top of yellow, or you can just go on top of white, or you can go on top of blue with it. The next tech that we're going to be going over is how to jump on things that give you a vertical boost. There's a lot of stuff on this map that give you a vertical boost if you just slide jump into it, or do a precise jump into it. The first one that I'm going to show you guys that you probably all know already, but just in case you don't, this is going to help you a lot. You want to start by just going onto the cone, and when you go onto the cone, you see your elevation changes a little bit since it's off of the ground. When you go onto the cone, all you want to do is just slide jump at the exact same time, and you get a vertical boost, and you can go on top of white, or you can go on top of yellow. You can also do this for any cone that you see on any singular map. All you have to do is just slide jump into it and you'll get a vertical boost, and you can go on top of anything and take control of height from your opponents. The next thing that gives you a boost on docks is this little tank next to white. All you want to do is hop on top of the tank and then just slide jump into it, and you can get a little boost and you can make it on top of yellow without having to go through the window and then on top of yellow. And for the final vertical boost they can do on docks that I know of, you want to come to the back of white next to these 2 pallets and simply stand on top of the pallet a little bit and then just slide jump into it, and you'll go up in the air. When you do it in motion, it'll look like this. Now for the last super jump that is applicable on docks and legacy docks, it's a pretty hard one, so don't expect to get it on your first try. I couldn't even get it on my first try, so I probably won't be explaining it that well. But if you guys want it explained super well, go to Mircbreaker's YouTube channel. He's the super jump demon. You guys should definitely all go check him out. But the super jump that I'm talking about will look like this. This is definitely the hardest one to do because you have to slide jump and then crouch, and then kill your momentum with the crouch, and then when you hit the edge of the roof you have to slide jump. I kinda like that, but it's pretty hard, so don't be discouraged if you can't get it on the first try. Or it will look like this. The way you do this tech though, it's pretty hard. You have to jump backwards on this wall and then carry your momentum forward by holding W, and then slide jump at this edge of this roof so you get the vertical height from the roof when you do it. It's pretty hard though, so I don't expect you to get it 100% of the time, but if you are having trouble getting it, I highly suggest you check out Mircbreaker's YouTube channel. He can explain it way better than I can. Now we're going to go on to the final map in this guide, Station. On Station, there isn't a lot of movement tech that you can do other than super jumps, so I'll just be showcasing all the super jumps that are possible on this map. The most common one is definitely the one on this main roof. All you want to do is slide jump into this edge right here and hold W while you slide jump so you go forward, and you can get a really nice off angle on your opponents on that roof or on your opponents that are in the train tracks. Another super jump that you can do on this roof is by simply just slide jumping into where I'm aiming at, and you'll go flying like this. You can get a really nice angle on the opponents that are at the train tracks again. And then for another super jump on this roof, all you want to do is just slide jump into this. It's pretty hard to get down, but if you do it, you'll go flying like that. And then for the last super jump on this roof, all you want to do is stand at the corner of the roof like this and slide jump into this edge, and you'll go flying like that. And you can get a nice angle on people that are playing there. And you can also do it on the other side like this. And now for the other super jumps that you can do on this building, the first one being, you want to stand on top of this awning and then just simply slide jump into the roof and you'll go up. Another super jump that you can do on this building is just by standing here where I'm aiming and then just slide jump into the roof and you'll go up. You could also do it on the other side, like this. My favorite super jump to do on this building though is just by standing here, looking where I'm aiming, and then just slide jumping into this little edge and you'll go up. You could also do it on this side as well, but I like this side more because I have more cover. And for the final super jump that you can do on Station that I found is you just want to stand on top of this and just slide jump into this edge and you'll go up. Now that the movement guide is done, I'll be going through my settings because I know a lot of you guys are interested in my settings, but not everybody can join the Discord server to see them. So here you go. For my video, it's just this. I use 90% sensitivity, 96 FOV, 25% scoped weapons. For my audio, just this. Game, I have easy slide on. Crosshair, it's just a dot. Here's the settings for it. And then here are my keybuttons. Now I'm just going to be going through my Roblox settings. I'm on 0.033 at 1550 dpi. My volume is on 2. Graphics quality is at max. And yeah, that's it.